Sheriff's with us. Good morning, Sheriff.
Morning.
You look like you're ready to go to the fair.
I have been at the fair a number of times this week already. I think I've got almost 8 hours in over there.
I mean this in the best possible way, Sheriff. What the heck were you thinking agreeing to challenge Bradley in trivia?
I got suckered into it. and I've heard since then that he might be a little bit on the spectrum of being a savant. So
you're going to lose.
I know.
Well, it's his specialty, the old country. But he did agree. They said, you beat everybody. Some people really bad. How about if Sheriff doesn't get after three incorrect questions for answers, that he can get a shout out to the crowd? Bradley agreed. On your sixth, you can copy one of his answers. So you at least get 2 right, Sheriff.
I'll at least get 2 right.
That's at 7 at Maryland Shutter Country Stage, which is always so fun.
I've had a number of people walk up to me at the fair already and like, when is the trivia? When is the trivia? I'm like, Friday night.
7 o'clock, Friday. So come out for them. You guys are out there. What are you guys doing there? What's at your booth at the fair?
We're just meeting people again. We have some literature with us. We have freezies. It has been hot. Last year we couldn't give them away for the first 3 days of the fair because it was in like the 60s, I think, which was crazy. This year it's been hot, so I'm sure you guys are getting out of some starry lemon lime.
Oh yeah,
sure.
Well, group.
You had a kid dunk his head right into the ice bucket.
You're kidding me.
No. Like, it's not that hot out here.
Wow.
Yeah, so we're giving away some freezies, meeting and greeting some folks. We have the county has a booth there, and they have some literature out. We man the sheriff's office portion of ours just for meet and greet, because we're probably the most visible county government entity, and people want to have conversations, obviously, for public safety. And then I'm there periodically. I've got some command staff there periodically. So if you have questions, if you want, you want to find some stuff out, we're there to talk to. Just be reminded that my staff don't make policy. I do. So if you're going to be very, very critical of them, maybe save that for me.
There you go.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
I can handle that. I've got big feet.
I am being very sarcastic here. I'm sorry. Safe to say you don't arrest many 4-H kids?
Very safe to say
all of
that.
those kids are great kids, aren't they?
They are. Yep. We were actually doing yesterday I was involved in a number of meetings with the National Institute that is looking at on the national side of things, the disparity of race that's in custody when it pertains to juveniles.
Sure.
Kids of color. And we were actually kind of going through, and we're looking at, we have a very, very good diversion program for youth, for certain types of offenses. There are things that we just can't do with diversion,
Right.
when it comes to more serious stuff. But, as we were talking with them and kind of trying to figure out the key factors of why kids get into trouble, a lot of it is boredom. And not having the tools in place. And when I say tools, people in place, mentors, parents,
Club
leaders, exactly. I sit on the Boys and Girls Club board. Outstanding organization. Andrea Kent and the staff there do a phenomenal job. Carl Mork. But I was talking to probation about this with this group, and I said, how many kids from the Boys and Girls Club do you think are involved in any type of diversion program or any type of, in custody stuff? And they're like, 0. They have things to do. They have mentors. They have people involved in their lives that do this. And, when you say 4-H is the same way. You've got to be, I'll tell you right now, with 2 little girls in 4-H, you've got to be a fairly committed parent because it's a lot of stuff going on. It's not like hockey, being a hockey mom or hockey dad. It's not quite that bad.
Yeah. Oh, really? You're raising an animal for the entire year.
Right.
That's not like that.
But there's an investment there, and kids that are involved in that and have things to do are, there's just, their hands aren't idle. They're not out doing things that they shouldn't be doing,
Is that how it went at your house, Dad? I want to play hockey. Have you seen this rabbit? About 4-H?
Puppy.
What did your girls do? Because they're showing at the fair, right?
Yeah, they're actually showing today. They've got, my youngest has a rabbit, and my second youngest has a bunch of chickens.
Oh.
Different types of chickens. So she's showing all day today. So
they're busy.
Yeah.
It's chicken show day.
Chicken show, rabbit show. Yeah.
And you're on the Shutter stage tonight. Well, I suppose when another old sheriff calls you up, you're, what you need?
That's exactly what happens.
Wondering if you could help me out.
Yeah.
What does a sheriff do when he hears a storm like we had overnight? After the storm that we just had.
Oh, I was like, oh, please, not another one. This community is doing such a great job of helping each other out. I've been very impressed with the amount of volunteer stuff that's been going on. United Way helping folks out with this and that. And, I was just talking to one of my guys last night. And he had told me that he'd gotten hit really hard, and $47,000 bill for tree removal. Trees from his home, his garage, his fence, the whole.
He didn't just call you?
Gamut of things. I was out of town.
Oh.
He did call me, but I was out of town. So, there's a lot of cost here, that people are, I don't know how I couldn't afford to pay for that. That's just not in my budget, and I look at some of the stuff that's gone on in this community where people are helping people and doing the best that they can. And it's people have a little bit of patience, and, granted, there are some things that you just can't not fix, right? You got trees on your roof. Those are kind of an important thing.
Right.
But if people are patient with other stuff, things will happen.
Mm-hmm.
Involved in, church or whatever, there are groups of people that are going out and about and still helping folks. So
we've had some bad folk that have come to town preying on us. I'm surprised we haven't heard of more.
I know. Yes. Yep. And, unfortunately, and I don't remember if I talked about this a couple weeks ago or not, but people were being preyed on by the emotion of it, because like tree company comes, or a contractor comes and gives you a quote for whatever the services they're going to provide, whether that's a roofing or exterior or trees, and they give you this high dollar mark, and you're like, wow, that's a lot of money. And they're like, I'd like to get a second opinion. And they're like, whoa, wait a minute here. Like, well, if you want a second opinion, I might not be available in 12 hours. I can do this now for you today or tomorrow. But if you want to go get a second opinion, I'm not going to be available. Which might be true, but they're using that as a tactic to get you to bite. Yeah. Because you want the product, not, or you want the, you want to be on the list. You want to be taken care of immediately, and some things need immediacy and some things can wait. So,
yep.
We did have, a couple weeks back, we did have an accident in town here where an individual was using a piece of rented equipment, trying to do some of their own work. I won't go into any details just for some anonymity here, but remember, if you aren't used to doing something strenuous, if you aren't used to using a piece of equipment, don't try things out new with hard things.
You want to try your hand at building a birdhouse, go ahead.
Yes, yes. Don't climb ladders and use a chainsaw. Don't grab a piece of rented equipment and try to do something it's too light, it's not intended to do, and then you end up getting seriously hurt. So,
Gotcha.
And that kind of stuff is going to be going on for a long time.
It is. I actually talked to one of the ER docs, and she was telling me that they've seen scores of chainsaw accidents, scores of people falling off of ladders in the last month and a half. So
makes sense.
It does. And you're going to have that happen no matter what. And people up here tend to be very handy, and they tend to be very frugal when it comes to, like, I can do this myself, you know, and some of that can be the case, but when you're in over your head, don't
go further.
Yes. Yeah.
If you don't know how to cut down a tree, don't. And if you got a chainsaw, you should start with just limbing the tree.
Right, exactly. And don't buy a chainsaw that's significantly bigger than what you need. I mean, number one, they're heavy.
Right.
And they're expensive, you know. So when I got back from the storm and I walked into Fleet, I was like, there's a couple of 80cc chainsaws missing from the rack here. I'm hoping like some 75-year-old guy or some 30-year-old gal or, you know, whatever didn't come in and buy this big chainsaw to do yard cleanup for themselves, because that's a saw that will kill you if you don't know what you're doing.
I can imagine.
How long did it take you to be proficient enough to do tree removal?
I was talking to, it's funny you asked that question. I was talking to another local tree guy, and we learn every day.
Sure.
The first year, well, so you got to understand, I grew up with a chainsaw. I grew up logging with my dad. My business partner grew up logging with his dad.
Sure.
Accidents still happen. When you start getting too confident in your abilities and you start just, you know, cutting corners, so to speak. But when you're talking about technical tree removal, you're talking about a whole different animal. So we talk through everything we're going to do before we actually make the cut. So there aren't any surprises. And the tree still will surprise you from time to time.
Sure.
When trees are bent over or trees are broken off, and
They
they're
don't
caught,
fall normal.
They don't. And there's tension and compression in different locations, and the tree does not behave the same way. There are a number of community ed services out there that will do chainsaw training. So if you're truly wanting to understand that, talk with our local community ed about getting a class. I mean, that's definitely something that's worthy. I've actually taken 2 safety classes in the last 6 years. And like I said, I grew up with a chainsaw, right. So you learn something new every day. When you do something and something happens, you learn from that.
Hopefully you're around to learn from it.
Correct. I consider myself a professional, and I've gotten broken ribs. My partner's got a crushed hand. I mean, it happens when you know, to people that know what they're doing. So when you don't know what you're doing, it could happen in the blink of an eye.
Right. Be careful out there. You been studying up on country trivia at all?
Amongst other things, yes.
So, the Oak Ridge boys are at Northern Lights tomorrow, correct?
Yeah. Ooh.
Bradley was here on Wednesday when they called in to record the interview. Bradley is 20 feet down the hall. Granted, it's a very recognizable voice.
Right.
He comes sprinting into the studio here. Just hearing his voice through Mark's headphones. That's what you're in for tonight.
We'll try and help you out.
Can I bring my taser along just in case he gets too good?
What have you eaten at the fair?
Cheese curds. I've had people actually come up and give me the warm chocolate chip cookies. Like literally, like people, hey, you want a cookie? Well, yes. Why would I turn down a cookie?
With milk?
No milk. Okay.
There's a cookies and milk booth there.
Yeah, there is.
Brilliant.
Yeah. And ice cream. I've had the ice cream. Those are, you know.
Staples,
exactly.
Well, thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys have a great rest of your day.